What's up guys, it's me, your boy SteveRandom here, and in today's video I'm doing my 5 favorite mass appealing fragrances. Now I know there's a lot of mass appealing fragrances out there. I had to narrow it down to 5, which was very hard, but at the same time, you know, who knows, maybe like in a month I'll get maybe a few more mass appealing fragrances and I like those better. But currently, for now, what's in my collection, these are my favorite 5. By mass appeal, you know, you could label anything really that's mass appealing that, you know, some people like, a group of people or whatever like as mass appealing, but I feel like these are just, in a way, also very likable. They're fragrances that you cannot, you know, I don't know why you wouldn't like them. There's probably going to be a reason, like, for example, you maybe smell it too often, you maybe have a similar fragrance to it, or you could, I don't know, what else could be an excuse. But I have 5 fragrances here that are very mass appealing, but they're also my favorite mass appealing fragrances that I have out of my collection. But there is a bunch of mass appealing fragrances out there, and honestly, you know, you could like whatever you want, but from my collection, these are the 5. So let's get into it. Number 5 is Coach Platinum. Now this fragrance is a more mass appealing fragrance because it's very likable. I've seen a lot of people that own Coach, you know, for men, the regular one that's like a little bit darker. It's like a blackish kind of bottle, and it kind of fades lighter as it goes down. This one's like a silver bottle, but it has like this blue tint to it. At some areas it does, but it doesn't show on camera. But basically, this one really opens up with a nice fresh of apple, and also has that sweetness to it, and has that, you know, kind of mass appealing DNA as well on the undertone. It's a really good fragrance, really does last long. And it also has this quality to it that is very addictive. I don't know why, but this is one of the fragrances that from the opening, it just makes me want to smell it more and more. And every time I spray this on, I'm just like, wow. I just get like hit with a good amount of just refreshing apple, and it's very nice and sweet, and it's very likable too. It also is a fragrance that does last long, does perform well, and I have no really complaints about this apart from the fact that it probably would you know, be used by others, and it would just be smelt all around, and that's the only kind of complaint I have about this fragrance. Apart from that, this one is a great fragrance, very mass appealing, very likable. I would suggest giving it a try. It is also a pretty good price. Coach Platinum. Now again, these, I don't know if I mentioned it, but these are not in order. These are just 5 of my favorite. And here we have Prada Rossa Carbon. This one I got recently. When I got it, the reason what made me get it is because of how nice it smells. It smells really, really nice. Like, I know it's just mass appealing and it kind of smells like other fragrances, but to me, I don't know what it is about this fragrance, but it just does really well. And like, not only does really well as performance, but it just smells really nice. Like, it's very, very sexy as a fragrance. I don't know, I think, you know, this was really talked about at a point in time, and now it's kind of dulled down. But this fragrance I do highly recommend to try, because you probably will like it. It's really good, really mass appealing, really fresh. Also has this kind of date night kind of fragrance, I would say. It smells a little bit sweet as well. It gives me a little bit of vibes of a lighter Play Intense. Givenchy, you know, does that job for you. This one's a really nice fragrance to have. What would be my favorite mass appeal list without your good old buddy, Bleu de Chanel Parfum? This one, no words really to be said, but it's really a nice fragrance to have on. Really my favorite, or one of my favorite actually. I mean, these are all my favorite, but it's one of my favorite mass appealing fragrances that I currently own. It's just, it has a little bit of depth to it, you know, it changes over, you know, the course of the fragrance. It also is very addictive when you first smell it, just like Coach Platinum. You want to keep smelling it, and I don't know what it is about those 2 fragrances. They obviously do their job as a mass appealing fragrance. Next up is Prada L'homme. This one's a great mass appealing fragrance, a fragrance you want to have if you want to have an everyday office scent to wear, and not even office, just going out, you know, to your work, your place, whatever it is. This is a fragrance that's really an option at any point in time, in terms of that matter. Like if you're going to work, if you're going to school, going to college, going to whatever it is that, you know, you want to just have a fragrance on, this is a good fragrance for that. It's also relatively cheap. It's not that expensive compared to some other mass appealing fragrances out there, but this one does the job, does it well. Prada L'homme, very fresh, clean, smooth as fuck. This one does last long and does perform really well overall. So that's Prada L'homme. Last but not least, we have the one and only Dior Sauvage. Now you guys must have known that this is going to be coming up on this list. It is one of my favorite mass appealing fragrances. I guess it is very popular and is very well known at this point, so a lot of people do use it, but there is going to be a point where it's going to kind of die down, and then that's when I'm going to start using it again. Currently have a very low amount on this bottle. I don't know if you guys can see that, but it's very low. It's not doing as well right now. I don't know if it's because of the low juice or because of how long I've had it for, but overall it's still a great fragrance. Definitely one to try. This might be the only one out of this list that I think people might not like as much, just because it has a little bit of a different type of opening. It has this bergamot, but also has this spiciness and has a peppery vibe, really heavy pepper vibe. But overall, really does well, performs anytime that you want it. Really, it's very versatile, very mass appealing, and it's one of my favorites from the mass appealing vibes. This is Dior Sauvage, and that's the end of the video. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments below, and peace.